எங்கும் உற்சாகம், எதிலும் உத்வேகம், அனைவருக்கும் நேசக்கரம். உங்கள் வெற்றிநடை.
நேயர்களுக்கு வணக்கம். So welcome all the parents and viewers of VetriNadai. இன்று autism awareness மாதமாக உள்ளதால் நாங்கள் சில ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் சென்று வாரம். இன்றைக்கு சிப்ளிங்ஸ், அதாவது சகோதர சகோதரிகள் என்ன மாதிரி அந்த பிள்ளைகளுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணார்கள், அவங்களோட வாழ்வதாக அவங்களோட வாழ்ந்த அனுபவத்தை ஷேர் பண்ண போறார்கள். So children are going to mainly talk in English. The English is easy for them. So we'll be doing the program in English, and also time to time we'll be talking in Tamil. So கணக்குக்கு என்ன படி தெரியும், என் பேர் புவனேந்திரன். நான் ஒரு நியூரோ டெவலப்மெண்டல் பீடியாட்ரிஷியன். நான் சின்ன வயதுல இருக்கைக்குள்ள எனக்கு அந்த பேச்சு ப்ராப்ளம், அதே மாதிரி ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிற கஷ்டம் எல்லாம் இருந்தோ ஒரு பிலோ ஆவரேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் தான் இருந்ததான். அப்ப அந்த நேரம் எனக்குள்ள சகோதர, அந்த நேரம் எனக்கு ஒரு 3 சகோதரம் இருந்தோம். அதுக்கு பிறகு 4 சகோதரம் இருந்தோம். அது பிறகு இல்லாம 6 சகோதரங்கள், அதுல ஒரு தம்பி, மிச்ச 6 தங்கச்சிமார். ஆனா அவே இல்லாம இந்த காலத்துல இருக்கைகளை எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி வந்ததால இதா இருந்தது. ஆனா இப்போ அடல்ட்டா வந்த பிறகுதான் அவை அனுபவம், அவை இந்த முக்கியத்துவம் எனக்கு விளங்குது. தங்கச்சி பேட்டை அனுபவம், ஒரு கஷ்டம் வரைக்குள்ள அப்படி இருக்கலாம் அவை இது தெரியும். வளர்ந்த வரைக்கெல்லாம் அவை இந்த அருமை விளங்கும் அவை. அப்ப அந்த வகையில இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம், இந்த சிப்ளிங்ஸ் செய்வதற்கு நாங்கள் மிகவும் பெருமைப்படுகின்றோம். என்னோட சேர்ந்து டாக்டர் கிருவாணி மனோகரன், அவ வந்து இஸ் அன் என்ஜினியர் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ அவ வந்து டீச்சர். ஆனா அவரு இலங்கையில ஒரு பிரபல்யம் வாழ்ந்த ஒரு சயின்ஸ் மேத்ஸ் டீச்சரோட மகள். அவ வந்து என்ன மாதிரி அவருக்கு சிப்ளிங்ஸ் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிச்சுன்னா, அவ ஏன் இந்த தொண்டுல எப்படியான தொண்டுகள்ல ஈடுபட்டிருக்கா என்பதை அவர்கிட்ட கேட்போம். வணக்கம் கிர்வாணி.
வணக்கம் டாக்டர் புவனேந்திரன். வணக்கம் அனைவருக்கும். நான் கீர்வாணி மனோகரன். நான் யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து வந்த நான். எனது தந்தையார் திரு கந்தையா கணேசலிங்கம். அவர் பரியோவான் கல்லூரியில் ஆசிரியராகவும் பின்னர் உப அதிபராகவும் இருந்து இளைப்பாறியவர். அவர் பிரயோக கணிதம், திரிகோண கணிதம் ஆகியவற்றை மாணவர்களுக்கு கற்பித்து பிரபல்யமானவர். அத்துடன் எனது தந்தையாரின் தமையனார், அவரும் ஒரு ஆசிரியர். ஆகையால் நாம் ஆசிரிய குடும்பத்திலிருந்து வந்துள்ளோம். நான் தற்போது ஸ்காட்லாண்ட்ல வசிக்கின்றேன். ஐ ஆம் a reservoir engineer. அத்துடன் நான் பௌதீகமும் கணிதமும் மாணவர்களுக்கு கற்பித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். மாணவர்களுக்கு கற்பித்தல் எனக்கு ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய மன மகிழ்ச்சியை தரும் விடயம். ஏனென்று சொன்னால், இன்றைய மாணவர்கள் தான் நாளைய சமுதாயத்தின் தலைவர்களாக மாறப்போகின்றார்கள். ஆகையால் நான் தருணத்துல டாக்டர் புவனேந்திரனுக்கு மிகவும் நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். அவருடைய தலைமத்துவத்துல நான் இந்த சிப்ளிங் குரூப்பை நடாத்தும் வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைத்தது. இவ்வாறு நான் இந்த குழந்தைகளுடன் பழகி, இந்த குழந்தைகளுடன் நேரம் செலவிடும் பொழுது அவர்களிடம் நான் படிப்பது பல, அத்துடன் அவர்களுக்கு ஒரு உதவியாக இருப்பதோ அல்லது ஆலோசனை வழங்கும் முயற்சியை ஈடுபடுத்துவதில் எனக்கு மிகவும் பெருமையாகவும் உள்ளது. நான் அதற்கு நன்றியும் பட்டுள்ளேன். நன்றி.
நன்றி கிர்வாணி. பாருங்க, இந்த கிர்வாணியோட அந்த மனநிலை வந்து, அப்போ அவ வீட்டுல இருந்து அப்பா அம்மாவோட வளர்ந்து சவரங்களோட வளர்ந்து வந்தபடியா அவருக்கு இப்படியான ஒரு உந்தல் வந்திருக்கு. அப்ப உங்களோட வாட் இஸ் தி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஆஃப் லிவிங் வித் யுவர் சிப்லிங்ஸ், அதை பற்றி சொல்லுங்க.
எனக்கு ஒரு அக்காவும் ஒரு அண்ணாவும் உள்ளார்கள். எனது தகப்பன், எனது ஃபாதர் 3 விடயங்கள்ல மிகவும் உறுதியாக இருப்பவர். ஒன்று நாங்கள் செய்யற என்ன வேலை என்றாலும் we have to do our best. இப்ப அவர் ஒரு நாளும் டெஸ்ட் முடிச்சு வந்துட்டு உண்ட ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கு எத்தனை மார்க்ஸ் ஒரு நாளும் கேட்க போறதில்ல. இஃப் ஹவ் யூ டன் யுவர் பெஸ்ட், எஸ், தட்ஸ் ஆல் ஹி எக்ஸ்பெக்டட். ஸோ நானும் எனது சகோதர சகோதரிகளும் நாங்க என்னத்தை வாழ்க்கையில செய்தாலும் நாங்க மிகவும் எங்களோட திறமையை முழுமையாக செய்வோம், செய்துவிட்டு நாங்கள் பலனை எதிர்பார்ப்பதில்லை. செகண்ட் திங், எனக்கும் எனது சகோதரருக்கும் எனது தந்தையார் சொல்லி கொடுத்தது டைம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட். Whatever we have in a day, we have to prioritize our time, and we do exactly according to that, so that we were able to achieve many things. எங்களோட பர்சனாலிட்டியை நாங்க டெவலப் பண்ணிக்க படிப்பு மற்றும் முக்கியம் இல்லை, கலை தேவை, மற்றவர்களுக்கு உதவுவது என்ற ஒரு மனப்பாங்கை வளர்க்க வேண்டும் என்று பலவிதமான குணாதிசயங்களை வளர்ப்பதில் அவர் மிகவும் பிரதான கவனத்தை எடுத்துக்கொண்டார். அடுத்தது ஆக்களுக்கு உதவி செய்கிறது. நாங்கள் எல்லோரும் எங்களோட ஜெனரேஷன் யாழ்ப்பாணத்துல போராட்டத்துல வளர்ந்த நாங்கள் ஆகியால் நாங்கள் பலவித கஷ்டங்களை அனுபவித்தாலும் அந்த நேரத்தை அதை நாங்கள் கஷ்டமாக உணர்வதில்லை. நாங்கள் ஒவ்வொரு கஷ்டங்கள் எதிர்நோக்கும் போது அதற்கான சொல்யூஷனை கண்டுபிடிச்சு நாம் மட்டுமல்ல மற்றவர்களுக்கு உதவி புரிவதே எமது மனப்பாங்காக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்பதில் எனது தகப்பனார் உறுதியாக இருப்பவர். ஆகியால் இந்த குணங்களுடன் நானும் எனது சகோதரர்களும் வளர்ந்து, நான் அண்மையில் I have lost my father. However, it showed us how our siblings are our strength and our power. They are our future. So நான் எனது அனுபவத்துக்கும் எனது தகப்பன் தாய் தந்தையருக்கும் எனது குடும்பத்துக்கும் நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றேன். பிகாஸ் அவர்களினால நான் இன்று சமுதாயத்துல தனிமையாக தனித்து நின்று வாழ முடிகின்றது. நன்றி.
நன்றி கிர்வாணி. பாருங்க, இதுல என்ன மாதிரி எங்களோட கலாச்சாரம் அப்படி மற்றவர்களுக்கு உதவி செய்யும் மனப்பான்மை, அந்த இதுகளை நாங்கள் செய்வதன் மூலம் எங்களை பார்த்து பிள்ளைகளும் பழகுவார்கள். இந்த சிப்ளிங் குரூப்ல இருந்து செய்வதன் மூலம் நானும் கணக்கை அவர்களிருந்து அறிந்து கொள்கிறேன். அப்ப இது போன்ற வேலையை நாங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டும். இன்னும் பல பிள்ளைகள் செய்வதன் மூலம் அவர்களும் டெவலப் பண்ணுவார்கள். மற்ற பிள்ளைகளும் நாங்கள் அவை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணதன் மூலம், அவை இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணது மூலம் நல்ல சமுதாயத்தை கட்டி அடையலாம். அதுதான் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமத்தின் நோக்கம். வெற்றி பாதைக்கு போவதற்கு இது ஒரு உறுதுணையாக அமையும். அப்ப நாங்கள் அடுத்ததாக இதுல உள்ள சிப்ளிங் ஒரு சகோதரனுக்கு போறோம். அவர் மிதுஷன், அவர் ஒரு அண்ணா. அவர் எப்படி தனது தம்பிக்கு எப்படி ஹெல்ப் பண்றார், தம்பியோட வாழ்ந்த அதை பற்றி சொல்ல போறார் மிதுஷன். அப்ப so what is your experience about accepting your brother? So share your lived experience of accepting and inclusion.
It's definitely unexpected. It was a lot to take in. Well, first of all, it really just started with me wanting a brother to just play with, to talk to, spend some time with, because, parents are always busy. Since we moved into this country, they were always, working to get the best opportunities for us. So I really just wanted a brother to just mess around with, to play with. And I was really happy when I got one. And at first I didn't really understand about his gift. And it was a lot to take in when I did. And it's really just a massive deal of accepting it, because it's a lot to take in. It's hard to understand. It's difficult to get along with, but it takes a lot of time. And eventually you'll get there. You'll see how they're amazing. It's beautiful. And it's just, accepting it's very hard. It's very hard. It will take a lot of time. But once you do, it's very nice. You'll have a great time.
Thank you. What I can hear from Midushan and understand from Midushan is how mature he is for his age, accepting the challenges and finding the resilience within himself to accept and move forward. That's what Midushan is showing us. It's quite amazing. And as the time progress, I am very sure Midushan is not only going to help his brother, but the society as well, because that's how he is developing his personality and showing the resilience already. Well done, Midushan.
Thank you. And Girvani mentioned the word resilience. This is the main aim of the Sparks program. You can see in the t-shirt I'm wearing it. It's all resilient. It empowers me to be resilient. So the Sparks is all about making children to become resilient, parents to become resilient. That means whatever difficulty you have, how you bounce back, how you get up. So musician has told that it was hard earlier. Now, so how did your brother benefited from this, your support and things, musician?
A lot. Well, it really started as he was getting older, because unfortunately, until he was 7 or 8, we didn't have a very large understanding of him. And then we met Boban Uncle, and we actually spent more time with him, did a lot more things with him, did a lot more activities with him. And that's when we got to know him more. We actually understood him more, which was very, very useful. And yeah, after that, it just went very smoothly.
Okay. So that's the kind of first we can hear from the musician. Once they understood when he was around 7, working towards, that's the kind of key, opening the kind of acceptance. Then, so could you tell a bit more about how you helped him to be included with your friends and other people or the family? So what have you done to improve the inclusion?
Well, when my friends came over, they at first, because he was non-verbal and he was making noises, he was what they would regard as being silly. They didn't understand him, and they thought he was trying to be funny, and it was a bit hard for me because I obviously didn't know how to explain to them that he's special and like he has learning disabilities, and that's fine. But they clearly didn't understand that. But as I got to talk to them more and also learn about him more, they understood as well, and I was able to tell them that he's not trying to act funny. He's just being normal, and it's normal to be like that.
Excellent. Okay, so sometimes it's making them to understand and how to be normal, to include, and so you'll be able to influence your friends. And so by doing that, how is your brother now improved now? Huh? Your brother and your friends and all of you together, how are you all doing now?
It's mainly the ability that he can talk now, because before he was very quiet, he'd barely make any friends, and now he's amazing that because he can become friends with anyone he meets. He's such a friendly lad, and it's amazing because before he didn't talk to anyone. He'd let alone talk to us in his family, and now he makes friends instantly.
So do you want to tell your experience about recent your holiday to Spain and how you made friends with the other people?
Yeah. So earlier this week we went to Spain, and there were a few other families, and there was this one young boy that I'm not sure of his name, but Ashwin brought a tennis ball with him to the holiday, and he was just throwing the ball and playing by himself, and he saw this other boy who was roughly around the same age, and instantly they became friends. They were throwing a ball around, they were talking, they were playing, and I thought that was really good because I didn't even think I can make a friend that quickly.
Okay, excellent. So that's the kind of results of he was able to make friends on his own. So, and Gurvani, as a teacher, the inclusion is very important. So, would you like to comment about the inclusion part of it?
Inclusion is very important, as Midushan said. Every one of us have different perception, so we need to think other people's view by being them. As a teacher, you cannot teach one student one way and another the same method you cannot use to teach the other student. Some students need different approach and some students needs different approach. Once you understand what each of these child requires for their development, then as a teacher it's easy to provide that for them. So exactly when Midushan understands his problem, then Midushan was able to convey that to his friends, then they understand, then they find the common ground how to include his brother into their activity. And when we are including like that, then that child is getting the self-confidence, so he is break free of any fear or any kind of unwanted feelings. So he was able to come out, and now he can make a better friends than his older brother. How good it is. It's brilliant.
Excellent. So well done, musician, to be able to build it. It's a slow process. So you built it up and then you've been a wonderful brother. So is there anything you learned from, so how it has helped to develop yourself, musician, and now you are a teenager, has that dealing with the problem help you to develop in a better way or different way?
Yeah, 100%. Now that I've grown up, I'm always, bossing him around because it feels like I've kind of forgotten how it is to be young now that I'm, old, like a significant amount of years older than him. I've always been like a grown up telling him what to do. But seeing him develop allows me also to see like what I was when I was a child, and like, because watching him develop reminds me that I used to be exactly like him, and the things I get annoyed at him now, I used to do the exact same things. Just quite ironic.
Okay, okay. Now you can see the kind of each one of us has the same problem. It's not nothing special. We are all unique, and we can learn from musician about how all the other siblings or other children can help in the way. Well, thank you, musician. So we are going to go to the next one. Is a sister, older sister. She is helping her brother. Sometimes sisters helping brother is a unique way. So Durga, being an older sister, how you are accepted your brother and how you're helping to include him. Could you please tell us your experience?
So when I was younger, there wasn't much information about autism at all. So we didn't know much about it. But now there's so much more awareness, so much more information. So it's been much easier to accept and include other people in as well. So we've been like more information and more people, like my friends are all inclusive now. So yeah.
So with your friends, how you are able to improve the accepting your brother's difficulties? What are things you did or helped your brother?
Well, obviously we did talk a lot about how this is completely normal for him and from the way he is, and it's got to a point now where they're all so comfortable to be around him, and we all like go outside together and also play different board games. So Snakes and Ladders is a popular one, and we all like come together, and it's really good for him because it's such good social skills, and he's really close with a lot of other people other than me, which is great.
Mm-hmm. So in what way he has made you to develop? Is there any benefit for you, like including him and understanding his problems? Has it helped your development?
Yeah, I think it's made me. There's so many different better things about me that because of him. He's made me into a better person, like caring wise. It's made me want to help other people in the community as well. And also since he's mainly nonverbal, it makes me learn sign language as well, which is a great benefit because it's a way for us to communicate that we didn't used to when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's so many other benefits that he has.
Okay. So I would like to mention about Durga's learning about sign languages, because in human communication, our body language and things are very important. In many schools now, especially in China, other places, they are teaching sign languages in ordinary schools. Ordinary schools do. Now, it's nice to hear that Durga learned the sign languages and able to help his brother. So by learning those things, how is your brother has improved? You inclusion.
Yeah, he's improved so much compared to like a couple of years ago. He's now able to say, he has this communication book. So if he wants like food or he wants to go to the toilet, he can easily show. And instead of like, he used to cry a lot and be upset, but now he's simply just asks and he gets more of his needs now. So that's a big improvement.
The two things come across from Durga, which is quite impressive. Is first thing is seeking the information. So once you understand there is a problem here, you have to seek out. When you seek out, you will be able to find the solution. So that's exactly she has done. Even though she's very little, she knows, okay, there's a problem. She didn't understand about autism, but she found the information. That also shows sometimes we try to hide our problems due to stigma or whatever the reason. But if we can be open about it, then we can get a lot of support and help from the society as well. The second thing in Durga's discussion is how she's developing her personality. She is not shy of learning a new skill. And as a human being, we want to learn many as possible. There are a lot of opportunities, and she is maximizing whatever present in front of her so that she can use, and she's developing that. So learning the different skill as sign language not only is going to help her sister, brother, of course it is a huge help, but also it's going to help Durga in her future. Whatever the challenges she faces, she is going to be ready to learn something new and resolve the problem. So it is building her character as well. So it is very impressive, Durga. Thank you.
So thank you, Gurvani, and thank you, Durga. In that, as a kind of doctor on the people's development, and also people are in the program is about VetriNadai, we can see in the siblings the certain mindset. It's called growth mindset. They are willing to learn. They are learn from the problems or failure, or something didn't work out. They are learning. So as Durga learning about autism, learning about sign languages, as you learn from Vidushan, how you learn to include and how to work on it. So it's very amazing. These children are having a growth mindset. It's a very good example of their demonstrating, which is excellent, and which is the hallmark of future development, how to become successful. இப்படி வெற்றி நடை பாதைக்கு இந்த growth mindset is மிக முக்கியமானது. Thank you, Durga. Now we are going to go to a brother helping his sister, younger sister. So now we can see the kind of sister helping brother, brother helping sister. His brother is amazing because I went to see him. Things when in the kind of house, I told them what to do or anything. The parents were listening and that they were not doing. Immediately, he started doing whatever I mentioned. I was so amazed. As a little age, he did that. It was a heart touching for me when I met him. So he's now grown up. Sobishan, tell your experience about to accepting your sister and also including her. How is your experience?
Good afternoon. So when my sister was little and she got diagnosed with autism, I was also little at the time and I didn't know what it was. But as we both grew up, like I got more experience of what it would have been like for her. So I was imagining myself in her shoes and it would have been difficult because like she like can't communicate with us or like she can't see what she's trying to say. And now I know like what she's trying to say because after I met Dr. Puvan uncle, I helped her using the skills you taught me.
Okay, thank you, Sobishan. Now he used the word how to be in a shoe. சொல்றது அவரோட காலுக்குள்ள இப்படி இருக்குன்னு விளங்கப்படுத்தினார். அப்ப அதுக்கு அந்த இங்கிலீஷ் பேர் எம்பதி என்றா புரிவுணர்வு, மற்றவற்ற உணர்வை புரிஞ்சு கொள்றது. அப்ப இது ஒரு முக்கியமான ஒரு குவாலிட்டி உண்டு. So Auntie Gurvani, what do you think about this Sobishan's answer?
This is quite heart touching, to be honest. When he mentioned about understanding his brother in his shoes, he himself is a little child and he is also growing. While he is also growing, he is taking that extra step to be more empathetic and trying to not only help his sister and also their parents as well to solve that problem. It's quite amazing. And what I can say is, Sobishan's little sister is so lucky to have that protective brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. அப்ப இப்படியான ஹெல்ப் கொடுப்பதன் மூலம்தான் பெற்றோர்களுக்கும் உதவியா இருக்கும். அப்ப சோபிஷனும் வளர்ந்து வருவார். So Sobishan, by doing those things, like you are able to include and support, could you tell us about how you made your friends and the people to include your sister, and then what is the benefit to your sister getting out of it?
So like whenever I do any activities such as reading books or playing games, I would invite her so she's not left out. And then I would also like interact with her. So when we play games, I would like ask questions and like I would ask her if she has any doubts about it. And then that has helped her interact with other people.
Okay. So how is your sister improving out of all this inclusion, interaction, and acceptance?
She's becoming more confident of herself and like she can, using what I helped her, she can like put sentences together and she's not afraid to ask anymore. She's more like independent.
Mm-hmm. That's brilliant. So our aim is to, in the VetriNadai Padayila, the children have to become independent, able to do things, able to ask questions, able to function. So that's evident from Sobishan's way he's contributed and worked on it. How this has helped Sobishan, like you're helping you and things, how it has helped you change you or develop you in any way?
So using my experience, like some of my friends, they go through what I go through, so I told them how they can help their siblings achieve more, and yeah, it really helped them.
That's excellent. So, Auntie Gurwani, what do you can learn from this his helpfulness?
What he shows is he is developing a leadership quality already. Actually, he is being a leader because he saw the problem with his sister and he found his own way how to communicate with her and how to include her. And he didn't stop there. He goes out and tell his friends, whoever facing the same issue, how to assist their siblings as well. Here, the Shobishan is showing us how great leader he is already at this young, tender age.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabishan Gurvani. So this is the way the leadership qualities develop and then you become better at it. I think this has helped me as a child because I was eldest in the family and some of the things I was doing helped me to become leader. So sometimes the problems or some of the challenges may look as the difficulties at the time. Later on, it gives you to solve the problem. So you solve the problem. So solving the problem is one of the quality of developing resilience, solving the problem. So we learn from other children. So these children are sometimes parents, other people may think, oh, poor family, they're having problem, this happened. But in fact, they are going to be the kind of key to success. VetriNadai ஒரு முக்கியமான ஒரு fuel, எரிபொருள் மாதிரி இருக்கின்றது. So we wish you all the best to Sobishan to become a great leader. Now we are going to move to another amazing older child. She is known to you all, her mother. You all know Darshini. She has done some lot of work in Sri Lanka. Now she has to move to Canada. And so Jasmine, through her experience, now he is grown up and then she is going to study medicine, and then she's in the intermediate college and studying. So welcome, Jasmine. Now she's in Canada. She's a kind of different time zone. So how is you being able to help your younger sister in accepting and inclusion? So you want to give your experience, please?
It's been an extremely long journey, not something that can be like concisely said, but I will try my best. Especially growing up, it was definitely a struggle, but I will say there were different stages. Firstly, I think when we were very young, I wasn't able to tell the difference between, like, I genuinely was, I've always wanted a younger sister. I was so excited to have one, and I couldn't tell the difference. But as I got a little older and I saw my sister interacting with my other cousins or other little friends, family friends, I started to realize that there might be something a little different, nothing wrong, but just a little different. And I think that's where the struggles definitely started, because I would assume that if I could play certain games with my cousins, I should be able to play those games with my sister as well. But something wasn't really clicking and it wasn't really working. So definitely I felt the onus upon myself to really try and figure out games that she liked and really include her in what happened with all our cousins, etc. So when my cousins would want to play and Asha wasn't really kind of clicking with them, I would really try and say, hey guys, look, Asha really wants to play too, please include her. And that happened over the years several times until it became ultimately second nature to really bring her in. Then if my friends ever came over, again, they're all much older than Asha, but they would still always, I would explain to them what our situation was. They were always very understanding, and we would bring them in as well. And because I think throughout the years, we've really pushed Asha, not pushed her, but to be included and to kind of get over the little anxiety that she has. She's so much more confident now. And like, I think one of the siblings said, nowadays, if I say, can I come too? She's like, no, Akka, don't come. I'd like to do it on my own. I want to go with my friends. So now she's so much more happy and so much more confident now. And I think that's the power of really including her, because you have to get many people to just understand so that they're able to then accept, and then inclusion comes so much quicker after.
Thank you. Jasmine to giving the kind of beautiful, because Jasmine has a long experience with a sister, and also with all the hard work and the kind of things that they have done. How is that help? And also it's a wider family. Jasmine gave a kind of example. So, Auntie Gurvani, what do you think about Asha's kind of lived experience?
So what Asha has beautifully explained is her throughout the journey. It's not that, you can easily say, I did this, so it's happened. But she has also accepted all the challenges and struggles she has faced and how she is coming across and how that is helping her sister to be more independent. And when she finishes saying that, Akka, I don't want you to be there, that itself is a proof, isn't it? We don't need to talk more about it. As a family, along with Jasmine and her parents and the extended family, they have done whatever is necessary for Asha, the little sister, to be independent. So she is an inspiration, Yasmin. You are an inspiration.
Thank you. So this is the way we are showing the kind of success story. Yes, there's a problem. We need to accept that. Then once you accept the problem, how to work on how to solve the problem, we are listening from all the siblings, how they worked and how they, it's an inspiring story within our group of children. So, Jasmine, going the kind of difficulties and things, how it has helped you, has Aisha's problem helped you and shaped you in any way in your development?
I think you mentioned the word character building, and that's, I think, the biggest impact that's honestly ever happened to me, because I don't think I'd be half as good a person as I am today because of the impact that I've had with her. So I'll concisely say 3 points. Firstly would be I'm so much more patient. Secondly, understanding and empathetic. And then thirdly, I'll explain about my career. So in terms of patience, getting Asha to take a shower, getting Asha to eat, especially a shower, I'll have to put maybe 3-4 timers for her, then nicely coax her into going into a shower. And then once she's in the bathroom, to actually get her in the shower. It's like a 45-minute process that should take 2, if not 3 minutes maximum for any other child. And that initially was such a massive struggle for me, because I'm thinking, why is this so difficult? But now it's something that is it's so easy, and it comes just very quickly to me now. But because of that, I've become so much more patient in terms of just anything. If someone's taking a while to get ready or anything like that, it's something that it's just doesn't faze me anymore. And I think that's made me just a much better person in general when dealing with stressful situations or anything like that. But secondly, in terms of being an understanding and empathetic person, I know another sibling talked about being in another person's shoes. And every time I think to myself, oh, this is really frustrating, I know it's 1,000 times harder for my sister Asha, because she's overcoming so much anxiety that she has about little things. Something could click in her mind and she gets phased and she gets upset. And I have to keep remembering that if I think it's difficult for myself, it's so much harder for her. And because of that, I'm so much better able to understand other issues that people are facing. If someone comes into school one day and they're really cranky, I don't jump the gun and say, why are you cranky? I hold space for them. And holding space is something that I've learned throughout the years. And it's such an important skill, because you're going to get thrown all kinds of people in life, and to be able to hold space for them and understand is something extremely vital that I've learned from Asha. But finally, in terms of what I'm going to do in the future with my life, because of my exposure, because Asha's a special needs child, it's an issue that obviously I take very close to my heart. And because of that, I wanted to volunteer for certain special needs kids, and I did that both in Sri Lanka and now in Canada as well. And because of that experience, I found it extremely gratifying and something that I genuinely enjoy doing, and that the impact and the smiles you see on those children's faces is not something that you can't compare it to any other experience. And to see that they feel welcome, they feel that they have a little community through that volunteer group, it made me realize that I want to take this a step further in my studies. And ultimately, I would say that the experience I've had with Asha and helping other children is kind of what propelled me to apply for medical school and ultimately get in as well, because of all the character building that I've achieved from that. Obviously other things as well, but Asha really is my inspiration to want to become a doctor. So that's how she benefited me.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. So beautifully explained about her little sister's inspiration to Jasmine. So sometimes we need some inspiration in our life to take and also help to become as a person, as a doctor she want to do. And also it's able to influence her friends. Please watch the video program about volunteers, how the volunteers help him. One of Jasmine's friend came from Sri Lanka to able to support, and they're doing fantastic work. They're not only doing, they are liking it. They are so enjoying the voluntary work and supposed to do. So, Auntie Girwani, what do you make up as adolescents in the kind of that path of success?
What Jasmine shows is a total personality development or character building. And she is the prime example of how our society would be if every one of us do our part, right? To understand others, holding a space for others. These are one of the 2 points she has mentioned. It's so important. If we do that, half of the problem in the world will not be there anymore. And so exactly like what Durga said as well, learning the skills associated with their siblings' growth, they are converting that skill into their future development, in their own development as well. And that makes them a better person for the society, better leader for us in the next generation. So it's a total personality development, and they are taking and they're experiencing the difficulty and achieving their targets with a positive attitude. That's what we need to learn from them. Yasmin, well done.
Thank you. Thank you. She'll be a wonderful doctor, able to do it. So this also happened to me. Sometimes the problems you face may look as a negative things. So childhood problem I had when I became a doctor, then also seeing the other parents and the other children's difficulty that made me to become a neurodevelopmental kind of pediatrician. So wish you all the best to become an excellent doctor and then to serve the society. So we're going to maybe keep with the judgment. We're going to go back to the problem. Sometimes you also face challenges, so your own challenges. You have your own needs. Sometimes parents are focusing on the children with special needs or problem. So you may feel like you're left out or anything. So maybe it may look a bit negative. So in the negative, how did you overcome that? Those things? So I want to share some of it.
I will start a bit with the struggles. There are quite a few. First, in general, I would say when I speak, I have a cousin that's 14 and my sister's 15. I'm 18. I genuinely, as much as I love like spending time with Asha, sometimes the occasional times I spend time with my cousins, I kind of yearn for that kind of experience sometimes that unfortunately that wasn't the hand I was dealt with. To talk to my cousin about her high school problems, about her friends, all those things, playing games that I can play with her because she understands them. That's something that I can't do with my sister. And occasionally, sometimes I find that like a bit of a struggle. But also in terms of struggle, there's a huge responsibility on me as an older sibling, almost as like an extension of a parent, not nearly as much work as my mother and father have done, but still a lot of work nevertheless. And it's so much easier because my friends would be like, oh my God, my sister's taking such a long time to get ready. And I'm like, oh, how long did they take? Oh my God, like 10 more minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I have to wait sometimes an hour and a half. And even to get, sometimes when me and my mother have to go for a family event or a party, by the time me and my mother leave the door, all our spirits are almost like, sometimes we're just in an awful mood sometimes, because it really sucks the life out of us sometimes to make sure that Asha is ready and on time. But really, I think that's when we're really like a resilient as a family, because we have to push through everything and everyone almost to make sure that she's okay and finally happy and out the door. But how I overcame those struggles, honestly, is such a long-term process. But I will say one more thing. As a sibling and as an older sibling, we are really a backbone for our parents as well, because sometimes our parents go through so much with them and they need to vent and they need to have some kind of avenue, you know, to be able to talk about their struggles. And as an older sibling, I think I've really been there for my mother and my father to be able to kind of talk through those problems. And together as a family, I think we talk about it and then we say, yeah, but you know what? Asha probably is really feeling anxious right now. And once we talk through it as a family and we come to an understanding that Asha we need to go and help her, we fix it, and through that kind of conversation, we're able to overcome it ourselves. So in terms of overcoming those kinds of struggles, I think it's just the realization that right now, it kind of may be tough, but the minute she's happy and she's out the door, it's happiness for everybody else. So really, this is my message, I think, for all the other younger siblings out there. You're not going to be able to see the returns now. It's honestly sometimes just really going to feel really annoying and a big struggle. But once you get a little bit older and you start to see these huge changes in your personality, you start to realize the impact that you have on your friends and how much better a person you are. That's when you realize that you've overcome everything, because you're just a much better person. So it's just keeping at it and kind of accepting it and just dealing with the card that you've been dealt with and constantly working to make sure that your sisters or your brother is in a good mood and they're happy will make you honestly just make your life much easier in the future.
Thank you, Jasmine. So it's a really longer process of how Jasmine experiences. I know her maturity. Now she's also the able to reflect and give the feedback to other siblings. So, Auntie Gurvani, what are the points we can make from here?
The truth, Jasmine told, it's not an easy journey. It's going to come with challenges, and they are accepting it. And one other important point Jasmine said is how discussing, talking, and trying to express all our feelings as a family is going to help us as a family to make a better decision for that particular day. And what is also important thing Jasmine is mentioning is basically deal the day as it comes. You cannot pre-plan anything in this situation. So this moment, this is the priority. We will make sure our little sister is get ready. Then we will go, then it's going to be better. So she's taking her life, even though she's little, she's also growing. She has much more to see in the world, but she's accepting the present moment, working with the present moment, and she's already started seeing the future is becoming better because of this present moment. So she is a real role model for all the siblings out there, for look up to her, and they also will start to accept, and they will become more and more better by the day goes on.
Okay. Thank you, Gurvani. There's also the important points all the parents need to be thinking. Sometimes parents need to think of the older sibling as the backbone. So they may give some too much responsibility. So they all have their needs. And like Jasmine mentioned about, she has her own needs. She wants to grow up. She's an adolescent, about a friendship group, about things. So parents need to facilitate that, not to burden the siblings. So there's a so we need to look after, we'll come to that towards the end. Now I'm going to go to Sobison about the your challenges and then things, your needs and things. As Jasmine said, would like to talk about your challenges and how you learn to overcome that. Is any message we can learn from that?
Yes. So my challenges was like how to communicate with my sister. So like to make sure she understands everything I say. And what I did was I tried everything I could, and like for instance, slowing the way I speak. So if I say a sentence, I would slow it down so she understands it better. And then later she like understands what I'd say.
Okay, so that's the good thing you're able to solve the problem. So in your own development, do you experience challenges? You as a child, you're growing up, and then do you feel the Jasmine said she has a backbone, you're able to talk to your parents. So do you experience the challenges? And then Jasmine said by talking and things as a family that helped improve. Did you experience any different challenges?
Yeah, I did. So sometimes my sister used to get angry for like she used to like cry and get angry, but I didn't know why. So that would really like put me off because I don't know why she's very angry or like very upset.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things. Sometimes the emotional issue and things you also don't know. Parents also don't know how to have the So that's thank you for reading that. Now we are going to go to Durga. Durga, now you are growing up, and then you are an adolescent, and your needs are like Jasmine said. Is there any challenges you faced, and any of your needs are they met or not met?
Yeah, I think one of the key challenges is communication as well. Sometimes it's quite hard to understand what he's saying, and you're not quite sure if what you're saying is something he gets as well. And it's quite a frustrating process, but I think the key thing about it is patience and just going through everything slowly. And especially now, like sign language and his way of communicating is something that we commonly use. I think it's starting to get much, much more better.
Okay. So do you experience the pressure being kind of you are growing up and things like that? Is your needs are met? You are growing up. You're getting the support and your parents and support. And is there any problem or are you able to overcome with your parents?
I mean, compared to when I was younger, I think I felt like life was quite difficult. But now, like, since a lot of people are included, I feel like I can talk not just to my parents now, but to my friends as well about difficult situations. So, yeah, I think we have like a lot of support now, and there's more information going around. So, yeah.
Okay, very good. So in here, as a kind of as a pediatrician, as Girbani, as a teacher, we are also looking at all the children's development, how the children, each and every individual is developing, how the parents are supporting. So, Auntie Girbani, what can you see like how Durga is, dealing with the challenges and how she is developing?
What I can see from Durga is the two things she has mentioned is the inclusion and the acceptance. So amongst her friends and amongst her family and extended family, when she faces a challenge, when the acceptance is there, it's easy for them to make that experience better. So it is important to all of us to understand every one of us will have different challenges, and we all have to try to understand why that person reacts in that way. When you have that understanding and opening, it opens your mind to accept whatever comes, then we will find a solution which fits for all of us. So that's what Durga shows her with her friends and all. Now it's getting better because they all accept the situation and they understand how to deal with that situation. If there's a communication problem, they have found a solution how to accommodate the communication in a different format so that that child can also be part of their team. So acceptance is the important point here.
Okay, thank you. So once you accept, and also it's important to accept the siblings' needs, their developmental needs. So we are focusing not only the children with the kind of problem, and also the person who helping it, how to support them, how to accept their needs and help them. So thank you, Girbani. Now we are going to go to Midushan. So what are the challenges you face, Midushan? How are you trying to overcome you and your family, and also looking at your needs as well?
In terms of challenges, but there's been not many, but definitely there are a few, like as in the fact that my brother's become very confident now, and he's become a bit too confident. So now we need to now he's gained the ability to talk and understand what people are saying. He needs to learn how to suit it to the environment he's in. Mm-hmm. Also, probably increasing the understanding of other people, because many people have minimal knowledge about autism and things like that. So making other people realize and get some basic knowledge about it would be a problem.
Okay, that's good. So now also going to, once you become more advanced, and also the challenge, it's a good to hear that. So do you think your needs are met? Like you as a person, you're developing, because the parents may spend more time with your little brother. So do you ever felt that way, or how that has it been a challenge, and are you getting enough time and all the exposure from your family?
Of course, yeah. Everything's balanced. We all get the amount of time we need. We all get the amount of care we need, the kindness, and being with him also allows us to develop as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's good. Sometimes when you are dealing with the kind of a child with additional needs, the parents may focus on them, so they may miss the siblings. So it's good to see that. So you want to emphasize that parents need to allocate time and focus and help the siblings. So they are kind of backbone, as Jasmine said. So we wanted to help and develop. That's the way the right balance is there. Thank you, Midushan. Now we are going to move on to the next topic about we are recognizing these siblings has a different needs and support and help them develop them. So Auntie Girbani running the kind of sibling group. So we wanted to ask from the experience about Midushan. Could you tell us in the sibling groups, what are the benefits you got out of the sibling groups? So maybe share some of your experience, and also some of the volunteers come in the kind of group. Could you please tell the benefits and your experience? Listen.
Yeah. Oh, so in terms of benefits, well, sometimes it is uneven the amount of the time parents distribute to each child. Sometimes it's more towards the special needs child, sometimes it's more to the other one. But here in the sibling group, there's no talk about the other sibling. It's all just fun and games, and also development, because we talk about positive things, motivational things, which make us better people, and it's quite motivational. And there's zero talk of our siblings. We play games with each other. The volunteers organize very good events which allow the siblings to have fun as well, because sometimes it's not always fun for siblings in terms of their home environment.
Okay, thank you, Bidishan. Durga, what is the experience of being in sibling groups?
Yeah, it's quite fun as well, based on like what Medicine said. It's no talk about the other siblings, just focusing on you, and it's like that time to yourself. Also for me, I met a really good friend of mine who goes to the same school as me, but I didn't know had a special needs sibling, and now she's almost like an older sister to me, and we always like talk a lot about our issues together, and she's a really big inspirational figure to me. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. So from Durga, we can see from the volunteers and making friendship. So siblings making friendship, get to know the other sibling, and so you can support between them. So Sobisan, what is the experience of being in a sibling group?
I think as we grow up, we have our own things. So it's like a lot on our mind. So it's hard, things toughen up. And the sibling groups help us by relaxing, by playing games, and it helps us stay calm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So now, Jasmine, you haven't been to the sibling groups, but you did some work in Sri Lanka and also volunteers and things. It'll be good to establish a sibling group in Canada. Jasmine, what do you think establishing a sibling group and running in Canada? Huh?
No, that would be nice. I don't know many of the siblings myself, so I guess that would be good just to be able to get to know everyone. But I was in one of the sessions with a lot of the UK siblings, one of them, I think, or two. It was nice. I think that experience was nice because I wasn't really in we played one game or two, but I think that we had a few conversations about our struggles, and I think it was nice, I think, because I don't really have friends per se that have siblings with autistic children, so it was nice to kind of hear that there are other people out there that have very similar struggles that I do. It was a nice experience to know that there's people out there that know what I'm going through. But I do spend a lot of time with volunteers because two of my best friends, we were volunteering together, and then I'm the one that recruited a bunch of people for the Sri Lankan volunteering. And now, even since we're out, because we have university, I recruited more younger students too. And they're always telling me that, because initially it was like, oh my God, we don't have time to do this. And now it's like, even my friend, one of my really good friends in Sri Lanka, he wasn't able to do one day. And instead of canceling the session because he wasn't available, he was like, you know what, let's go do it on Saturday because I don't want to miss out on 1 week. So they're so into being there for those children as volunteers. I think volunteers are really touched, especially working with these children, because it's such a nice, gratifying experience, like I said before. So I'm really grateful that I was able to make sure these children have these volunteers to look out for, and also be there to support them too. But yes, I definitely would like to make a siblings group. We should try and make that out here. Yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine. So, Auntie Guruvani, you've been running the kind of group and the children's listening to them. What's the kind of summary of sibling groups and the benefits?
So the primary purpose of our group is to have a platform so the same age kids which have the similar experience, but they are not going to talk about their siblings' experience. They are going to be an individual. They are going to share their fun, their feelings. So our session runs in such a way: first 20 minutes we will play a game, then we will have a discussion about some books, or we are expressing about some issues like climate change or whatever. And we were doing a book on 7 habits of teenagers as well. So So through this, what we try to achieve is, first is motivation, how to build our personality, and also these kids will have a platform to learn how to express their feelings. From the previous discussions, what we have seen is by discussing, they were able to find the problem in the home, find the solution, and they made the situation better. So by learning these, we are hoping to develop these kids' personality so that they can be a next generation leaders. That's the whole aim of the sibling group. Have fun, but learn something from there as well.
So thank you, Girvani. So in here, it's about making the friendship, as Jasmine said, connecting the siblings, and also through them they understand the problem and to make forward, so succeed and develop as a leaders, and then they find the solution. So what are the messages each one of you would like to give it to the world, or parents as a siblings? Maybe we'll go from Midushan. What message you would like to give it to the world, or siblings in the world, to do the type of work you are doing, or any message, Midushan?
I guess what I should say is, the more time you spend with them, the more easier it gets to understand them.
Okay, so you as a sibling, so you spend more time and acceptance thing to do. Okay, Durga, what's the message?
I think enjoy the time you have. They're fantastic and they're such a blessing. And even though they cannot sometimes communicate the way you want to, they communicate in so many different ways that is equally as amazing.
Okay, thank you. So Bisan, what's the message?
I think that if they have a problem like this, autism, it isn't really a problem. It's just another ability and power that they have, which is quite different to us.
Okay, thank you. Jasmine, what's the message?
For the siblings out there, just be there for them, because you're the one that's going to be there for them no matter what. They're going to have friends, they're going to have, cousins and whatnot, but the person that's going to be there for them always is you. So you have to be there for them and just push yourself to kind of go through those little struggles to make sure they're okay, because you're going to be their best friend, and always be their best friend is what my message would be.
Thank you. So to be a best friend and be there. So, and Girvani, collectively, what's the message you would like to give to the other siblings and the other volunteers?
My message is, try to understand your sibling, try to understand the other person, and exactly like Jasmine said, be there and giving your time. Time is a precious thing. If you can give your time to whoever facing the challenge, and it's not a challenge, it is a different ability, as exactly Sobishan mentioned. Give your time, be there for them, and be kind and be empathetic towards them.
And also in the process, they all need to, you see, these siblings, they enjoy it. They're not looking as hard work. They enjoy part of it, and true love. They shared their love their siblings. It's about loving and caring it as a human being, severe with the love. So thank you very much for all of you taking part in this program. And thank you, Girvani. And we want more volunteers like Girvani to come and run the group. We can run a group in France, or we can run a group in Sri Lanka, we can run a group in Canada. So please, whoever watching this program, come and join, give hands together. By giving that way, first thing is about acceptance. Whatever problem, whatever, we are all unique. Nothing as a disability, nothing as a concern. We learn from the siblings, how they learned, how they adapted, how the child is getting better and they are getting better. This is the path to success. Successful people. Thank you very much. Ellarkum vanakkam.
Thank you so much.
எங்கும் உற்சாகம், எதிலும் உத்வேகம், அனைவருக்கும் நேசக்கரம். உங்கள் வெற்றி நடை.